Hello all, welcome to my Let's Play Bloodborne Part 3 and talk about Dark Souls. I'm actually not going to talk about Dark Souls 3 much. I'm going to keep it to a minimum for this video and get to the game explanations just because I was thinking there might be some people new to the game that could use some useful information and whatnot. So just in case of that, I'll keep the Dark Souls 3 talk. I'll put it in there here in a second, but I'll try to get more to the game I am playing now. Luckily, for this third video, we will finally get to the third boss. It's been hard to get everything done in 10-minute sessions, 10 to 15-minute sessions, so finally doing it. Took much longer than it needed to. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person, but oh well. I did die. I was doing a take, and I did die, and I wanted this one to be a smooth run, so I restarted the recording. I will eventually, with the next few clips, once I'm trying to get a hold of some better stuff, I'll keep the deaths in there and make funny little, I just have some cool ideas for that, but, pretty stoked on it. So, for the last bit about Dark Souls 3, all previous fears mentioned aside, I think the game is going to be stunning. I think it's going to be beautiful. From what I've seen of the bosses, we won't have to worry about the humanoid enemy problem, I don't think. Which will be nice. I have also seen some interesting things. I'm wondering if they're going to pop in an extra element or two as far as magic's concerned, or at least one being ice. Because there is a boss that I was watching video of gameplay, and he had glowing blue eyes, and he, if I remember right, and he would spray ice out of his mouth. So if they made that a thing in the game, I think that would be just I've always thought they should maybe add a little more to the magic in Dark Souls. Also, I've noticed that with Dark Souls 3, on some of the gameplay videos I've seen, they have done a lot more with they have done a lot more. They've done a lot more. I'm gonna go back to that real quick. When the hunt began, the Healing Church left us Great Bridge Cathedral Ward as Old Yarnum burned to the ground on that moonlit night. Wow. Just in case you haven't read that, it's kind of brutal. Anyways, as I was saying, I've noticed that with Dark Souls 3, it seems that they made the range classes a little more capable, which was a problem with Dark Souls 1 and 2, where the bows... Dark Souls 1, they were decent. Dark Souls 2, there was no point in using bow and arrows, really. Even the strongest bow in the game, I got it and like leveled it up and did all that, a bunch of crap with it, and in the end, it just wasn't the best weapon or fun to use, really. And I was noticing a lot of people on some of the like not E3, like game conference gatherings and stuff, people actually kind of gravitating towards trying out the range for once. And I maybe they were just trying it to see, but it looked a lot more capable. So that's an interesting thought. A couple interesting thoughts. Ice, arrows, maybe put them together. Lol. Yeah, I'm cheap. I just use this doorway for the wolves early game. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last time as far as Dark Souls goes. Let me know how you think 3 is going to be. Let me know if you're excited. Let me know if you're not a Souls fan. That way I can not respond, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I'd love to hear what you think about the upcoming game that will be introduced into the series. For the first boss, anybody who has not played Bloodborne and wants to play Bloodborne and is currently playing Bloodborne, it's the Cleric Beast, if I remember right. But for most of the bosses, you want to stay inside. I can't say that confidently for all of them. But when you go to fight this boss for the first time, I thought it was like Dark Souls 1 and you just had to die. But if you play it right, like I had, if you watch previous videos, I talked to Eileen the Crow, the NPC, who gives you an emote, Shake Off Cape, and gives you these Bold Hunter's marks. You use that, I should have had it on my item belt, but you use that and go back to, I believe it was the previous bonfire, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. or not. Yes, previous bonfire. And then you go to the hunter's dream, and the doll will be awake, and you can talk to Gurman, who is a friend of you hunters, in his own words. So, also, if you have not played the Bloodborne games, the doll is wife status. She's totally awesome, hot, gorgeous, like, in every way. Just look at her. Oof. Oof. Cute. Ready to serve if you get my drift. But yeah, so do not fight the boss the first time. Use the bold hunter's marks. You will be better off for it. You'll what I usually do, fight the boss, or I go to the boss first time around. One sec.
You must be the new hunter.
I am. Thanks for asking.
Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home for now.
Not very comfortable, is it?
Gammon.
There you go. You got it.
Friend to you hunters. Just go out and kill it, you know. It's just what hunters do.
Okay.
You'll get used to it.
Okay, so don't fight the beast first time. You will be much better off for it.
A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use.
This is my favorite line in the game.
Even the doll, should it please you.
I'll use the doll. Wait. No, wait. I'm just disregard that. You, like I was saying, you'll be much better off not fighting the boss first time around. Just use the bold hunter's marks. What I usually do is actually not level up. What I usually do is upgrade my weapon first. Just once. You can only do it once, unless you're just better at everything in life. Upgrade the weapon once, get a few levels in, and then after you get the few levels in and have a +1 weapon, go ahead and fight the boss. It's really not that hard of a fight. If you're new to the series, especially if you haven't played a Souls game, it will seem like it's daunting. Play Dark Souls 1 and then say the Cleric Beast is daunting. I promise you it's not that bad. If you haven't played them and you refuse to play them before this, then I guess you're just going to be stuck with the impression that this is a really hard boss, when it's really not too bad if you just play your cards right. It's a pretty slow hitting boss, pretty predictable. Getting back to the boss, unless you have the shortcut, can sometimes be a pain. But if you're careful, or not careful, but if you plan ahead, like the game requires you to do most of the time, you'll be fine. I opened the shortcut through the doors, and that shortcut that I just walked through right now. So you make sure to do those things. I did them in the last videos. If you didn't see that, go check that out. I'm really bad about just running past enemies. You'll notice that a lot as we play. Also, eventually, I'm not right now, but I will eventually be playing and commentating at the same time. Well, I don't know 100% if that's what I'm gonna do, but I like that kind of live aspect. I was actually, during this fight, my timer on my PlayStation game, the capture, was pretty limited. I only had about 5 or 6 minutes left, so the pressure was like on. I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta beat him in like 5 or 6 minutes, and I didn't. Oh, look at that. That's why you don't stand in front of the Cleric Beast. But for the most part, if you just stay inside and just kind of roll through his hits to say. That doesn't sound really physically possible, but if you just kind of roll the hits and get like to his back or kind of to his sides a little bit, he's really easy to get through. Not too bad of a fight. But I don't know for sure, but I would like to have, like I was saying, I would like to have that live aspect of, again, jeez, I forgot about that. I would like to have the live aspect of playing and talking at the same time, so we'll see as it goes by if things work out well enough. I have already almost died way too many times for the first boss. I just kept just going right into his hits, and that's just a terrible idea. And luckily with this boss, with most of his moves, if you need to get away, as long as you're moving, like rolling or backstepping, you can usually get away from them. I made a mistake right here. For anybody who has not fought the Cleric Beast and is playing the Bloodborne game and is watching this for tips, you want to, there's a certain point, I think it's right here, when he puts his head down, you want to position yourself just right in front of his face, basically, and you will get like a backstabbish type move on his head and take away a huge chunk of health. Extremely useful. You want to use that. I tried to use it, but I wasn't quite positioned perfectly. Also, once we get into the middle or late game of Bloodborne, I will be going in the rest of the way blind. I've only gone so far in the game just to kind of get my bearings of playing it for the playthrough. So I'll let you know once the time comes, but at some point in the middle or kind of sort of later game, I'll be kind of winging it and trying to, I like to figure things out for myself, so it'll be a new thing for both of us, and hopefully by that time I can record some longer, maybe 20 or 30 minute videos, so maybe actually more like, it's a Souls game, so more like 30 to 45 minute videos possibly. I don't know for sure, but I'll get it figured out. At this point I was feeling pretty actually not just at this point in the game, throughout the whole beginning part of the game, having played it quite a few times, felt pretty confident, but that actually ended up being my downfall when I got to not the next boss, but when I'm going to the boss after that, because I pre-recorded. I had a really hard time recording the next few videos because I just kept getting too confident and running into enemies and not being good at the game, basically. Had to re-record a few times, actually, but it is what it is. Also, he does the Cleric Beast does the thing where he I'm not 100% positive it's when he turns red, but it seems to be whenever he emits that reddish glow. He kind of goes in rampage mode for a few seconds, and it's really not that bad. You can either stay away, or you can try to be brave and dodge the hits, but there you go. Just beat him. Really not that bad. Actually pretty fun fight for a first boss. Nothing too crazy. And there's a lamp afterwards. I forgot to mention that, which is obvious, but it's always really refreshing. I'm pretty sure there's a lamp after most major bosses in the game, but I could be wrong, so after getting the Sword Hunter badge, you can buy the Kirk Hammer, which a lot of strength build users, for those new to the game, there's different types of builds you can do. You can be a strength build, you can be a dex build, you can be an arcane build, you can do a lot of blood tinge. It's all about what you want to do. So the Kirk Hammer is a strength-based sword hammer hybrid. It's one of the trick weapons in the game, which is kind of what the game's combat is mostly. It includes a lot of the trick weapons, and it's a sword, and you put it into the base of a hammerhead. I thought I went to the store to show it, but I guess I don't. But just go to the store right after beating the boss and grabbing that badge. The little dude's in the fountain next to the doll. Just go there. If you want to do the hammer, do it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. It's been fun. See you for the next one.